toplanma alanına. Az sonra Türk Triathlon tarihinde bir ilk yaşanacak. Sabahki yaş gruplarının üzerine elitlerin startını alacağız ve dünya çapında, Avrupa çapında birçok triatlet start alacak. Aralarında Türkiye'yi temsil eden Sinem Francisca. Elit kadınlarda Sinem Francisca. Ve erkeklerde de Gültekiner ve Enes Kızılcık bizleri temsil edecek. Her uluslararası yarışma öncesi hep söylediğimiz gibi neden olmasın diyoruz. Ve gençlerimize yürekten başarılar diliyoruz.
Ladies and gentlemen, less than 10 minutes to go to the start. Less than 10 minutes. Get yourself ready for some serious action here at the Europe Triathlon Championships 2025 Istanbul and the elite women's race.
Start için artık sayılı dakikalar kaldı ve Boğaz'ın en güzel yerinde Asya Avrupa Şampiyonası için artık kalp atışları başladı heyecan içerisinde. Türkiye Triathlon Federasyonu Başkanımız Sayın Bayram Yalçık ve değerli protokol üyeleri alana teşrif ettiler. Kendilerine hoş geldiniz diyoruz.
Our athletes are getting for their lineup, ladies and gentlemen. As we said before, this is business as usual, the usual protocol in the sport of triathlon. We are going to introduce our athletes number by number, one by one, starting with the lowest number, going to the higher ones. And our athletes will be able to select their starting positions on the pontoon as well.
Check this out right here. Do wanna hate on us, do need to ease on up, do wanna act on gut, but do get shut like Flavor Shut down. Chick say she ain't down with chick backstage when we in town. She like men on drums, she wanna hit and run. Yeah, that's the speed, that's what we do, that's who we be. B-L-A-C-K-E-Y-A-D-D to the E, then the A to the S. When we play, you shake your ass. Shake it, shake it, shake it, girl. Make sure you don't break it, girl. 'Cause we gonna turn it up, turn it up, turn it up. Come on, baby, just pump it, pump it, pump it, pump it, pump it, pump it, and say, oh, oh, oh, oh, say, oh,
Ladies and gentlemen, as we mentioned before, this is the first ever triathlon event in the history of the sport, which takes place on 2 different continents. So the race goes on 2 different continents. Our age group athletes, both today and then tomorrow on the standard distance, they are going to ride over from Asia to the European side of Istanbul on the bike, make a U-turn, and then ride back. So this is really a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to race on 2 continents in the same triathlon race. As well, this is a unique experience for all the athletes that we have joint continental championships here in Istanbul. So both the European and the Asian championships taking place at the same time as a joint venture organized by the Turkish Triathlon Federation. Therefore, we are lucky that we have 52 different countries represented on our start lines today and tomorrow. What a fantastic day for triathlon, for Europe Triathlon and for Asia Triathlon as well.
I know you want me, you know I want you. I know you want me, you know I want you. I know you want me.
Değerli dostlar, az sonra 52 sporcu, 52 kadın sporcu, elit kadın sporcu start alacak. Dünyanın ve Avrupa'nın değişik yerlerindeki yarışmalarda birçok uluslararası başarıya imza atmış 52 kadın sporcu sahneye tek tek anons edilirken sizlerden ricamız onları alkışlayarak destek verelim. Hem de bizim nasıl bir ev sahibi olduğumuzu ve ayırt etmeden tüm sporcuları nasıl centilmence karşıladığımızı görsünler istiyoruz.
So still awaiting the exit now of our athletes. Start line is 11 o'clock. And you can see there from above the water looking relatively calm, but as you get down closer to the water, it's certainly got a bit of chop on it.
The race technical officials of the 2025.
So the race technical officials now will be heading down to the water's edge to make sure that we have a fair and honest start, no false starts permitted. So, beautiful conditions here, apart from the wind. The air temperature is it's warm and breezy. Just having a little look back at that over the course.
Ladies and gentlemen, please now welcome the race technical officials of the 2025.
So these are our
Europe
race
Triathlon
technical
Championships
officials just
Istanbul.
going out down
Leading
to
the
the
technical team
pontoon.
today are the technical delegate Jorge Garcia from Spain, the head referee Melody Town from Malaysia, and the medical delegate Batuhan Olu, Turkey.
Well, this is set to be a big race for the athletes today as they fight it out for medals at the Europe Triathlon Championships in Istanbul. So just a few minutes delay by the looks of things as the technical officials make their way out onto the pontoon, and you can see the pontoon just ever so slightly moving around there in the slightly choppy waters, but beautiful conditions in terms of visibility and what the athletes can see in the water. Very, very clear conditions.
Europe Triathlon Championships Istanbul. Wearing number 1 from Italy, 2 times Olympian and 7th
being
at the
called
Tokyo
out
Olympics,
now is
Alice Beto.
Alice Beto from
Wearing
Italy,
number 2
a
from
two-time
Germany, the under
Olympian,
23
and
world
she took a
champion
bronze medal in the
2023,
Europe
Selina
Triathlon Championships
Wearing
last year.
number 3,
Great
fourth
swimmer,
in
so we will
Hamburg this
expect to
year
see her
from Belgium,
race well
Jolien
from the start.
Vermeulen. Wearing
And
number
Jolien
4,
Vermeulen,
individual neutral athlete, the winner
an
of the World Cup race
incredibly
in
strong
Samarkand
athlete,
and
really has
Sardinia,
come into
Diana
the form of her life
Wearing
this
number
year, I
5
think, with an
from
all-time
Italy,
best on the World
3
Triathlon
World Cup
Championship
wins in her
Series, took the
career,
sprint
Bianca
title, European
Sereni.
sprint title, just a few
Wearing
weeks
number
ago, and
6
she
from
loves a
Italy,
tough bike
Verena
course, and this
Steinhauser.
course
Wearing
here
number
in
7
Istanbul
from
certainly
Italy,
delivers that.
Ilaria Zani.
And
Wearing
other
number 8
athletes to
from
call out as
Slovakia,
well.
Zuzana
There is Verena
Mihalinskova.
Steinhauser, great
Wearing number 9
cyclist.
from
But this is going to be a
Portugal,
tough
Maria
swim. We have some
Tomei.
really, really strong swimmers
Wearing
on the
number
start
10
list.
from
Mihalikova
Spain,
going
Paris
out there, she will be
Olympian,
one to watch
Miriam
early in
Garcia
the swim.
Garcia. Wearing number 11
Tomei from Portugal just
France.
making her way out, won a
5
bronze
World Cup
medal
podiums
in the
her
Under-23
career.
World
Sandra Dodi.
Championships in
Wearing
Pontevedra,
number 12 from
and
Spain,
is the
Sara
current national champion
Guerrero.
from
Wearing
Portugal.
number 14, also from Spain, Marta Pintanel Raimundo. Wearing number
Pintanel
15,
from Spain,
Czech
just
Republic,
walking out now.
Teresa Simodianova.
Turns 24 this year, relatively inexperienced at this level of racing.
Wearing number 17 from the Netherlands, Barbara de Koning.
Barbara de Koning,
18 from
very strong athlete, only 21 years of age, but a huge amount of experience already at this level of racing. Annabelle Morton going for Great Britain there, just coming out. Strong swimmer, expect to see her featured early on in this championship event.
Wearing number 22 from GBR, Tilly Anima.
So Tilly Anima there, going for Great Britain. Expect to see her at the front of the swim as well. So this is going to be a strong swim today. 1,500 meters, 2 laps of 750 meters. We'll see the athletes exit the water halfway round, and we'll get a real opportunity there to see what's happening amongst these 51 athletes.
26 from GBR, Katie Rodda. 27 from
Katie
Germany.
Rodda from Great Britain, just going out to Zurich from Germany.
From Spain, Maria Teresa Jimenez Horta.
On the start list, we have 51 athletes, no number 13, though, for superstitious reasons.
32 from Portugal, Madalena Amaral Almeida. 33
Sophie Oldham from Great Britain, just gone out,
34 from Poland,
26
Paulina
years
Kulas.
of age.
35 from Slovakia, Diana
So it's a
Dunajska.
full and mixed
36
lineup
from
of
Italy,
young
Matteo
athletes
Tau.
just starting their journey out in triathlon, and then some athletes that have been around for a fair amount of time. This is going to be exciting racing with 8 laps on the just over 40-kilometre bike course. It's technical, hilly, windy, with a fast descent. So the athletes that like a technical, tough course are going to really relish this course here in Istanbul.
44 from the Czech Republic, Michaela Sterbova. 45
So
from
counting
Denmark,
now down to step over from the Czech Republic, wearing number 44. 52 numbers on the start list, and European Championships dates back to 1985, so we've had a break or two because of COVID, but this is the 40th year, the 39th edition.
And 52, Yana Chenskaya.
Chenskaya there, just going out. The last athlete to round up
Ve
this
değerli dostlar,
start
52
list.
sporcu podyumda yerini aldı.
So no wetsuits. There was talk about a wetsuit earlier on because of the currents. That's not happened, but the temperature's just around about 20 degrees. So we're going to have to get moving quickly to get warmed up, although right now all they're thinking about is that first buoy. It's a rectangular shaped 750 metre loop. Red flags are up from the officials. Team moving in the choppy water.
Athletes, now you're in the starters' hands. Fire!
And they're off. The 2025 Europe Triathlon Championships here in Istanbul is underway, and it's going to be a fast start. We have some of the best racing today. So Regni from Italy, expect her to really be pushing the pace, but Vermelin has really come into some tremendous form. The athlete racing for Belgium. Alicia Beto as well, a seasoned pro, 2 times Olympian, bronze medalist from the European Championships in 2024. Perhaps not having the strongest of seasons that she would like, but she loves these European Championship races. So the athletes very much
Ladies and
spread
gentlemen,
out.
there was a false start, unfortunately, due to technical reasons. So we are going to repeat our start. So we'll wait until our athletes get back onto the pontoon.
So I'm just
We'll do
hearing
our
that
lineup
due to a
once
full
again,
start,
and
the
then we'll
athletes
repeat
are
our
being
start
pulled back onto the pontoon
and able
now,
to have a
which
fair race for
gives them a
everyone.
bit of a warm-up,
Değerli
but
dostlar,
probably
hatalı çıkış
not what you
nedeniyle
really
çıkış bir
want.
daha
We'll see if we can get a replay of
Sporcuların
that full
podyuma
start. It
geri
might not
dönmesini
be
bekliyoruz
possible, but
ama
we'll see if we can take a look
bir moral
back
bozukluğu
and
da
see
olabilir. Burada
what
bulunan
happened there.
herkesten sporcular için şöyle yürekten
They're
kocaman
not
bir alkış
citing a full
istiyorum.
start at the moment. They're citing a technical issue, but we will wait and see. So the athletes, if you are just tuning into this 2025 Europe Triathlon Championships from Istanbul, the athletes are making their way back to the pontoon due to technical issues, stroke full starts. We will bring you news as soon as we have it. But the start for the women's event here in Istanbul has been delayed. Bit of a frustrating start for some of these athletes, but quickly back onto the pontoon now. And as we can see, quite a few of them, I missed that because we were looking at the front of the field. I didn't see that the athletes had been called back. It's a tough task for the officials to try and bring back the athletes once they are in the water, but they've safely done that now. So the flags are up and we await a restart of the Europe Triathlon Championship here in Istanbul. So the athlete's just waiting now to be brought into the hands of the starter. So the red flags are up, signalling that this race is now ready to get underway for the second time. And they are off. The Europe Triathlon Championships 2025 is finally underway now. As we can see, there's a big start list here racing in Turkey today. 51 athletes on the start line. First up, the swim. For those of you just tuning in, it is a 1,500 metre swim, 2 laps or 750 metres. The athletes will exit the water after the first lap before they dive in the second and final lap. It is a 40-kilometre bike ride made up of 8 laps, so you're going to have your counting head on, although the athletes will be given the bell when there's just 1 lap to go. And then you run 1,000 metres, and that is 2 laps of 3,450 metres and 1 lap of 3,150. The bike course is technical, the swim is tough, so no wetsuit, but I think it was decided right at the last minute. Current in this water, the water temperature does change quite dramatically, but the technical officials have agreed that the water temperature was above the legal limit for wetsuits, which we know in elite racing is 20 degrees. But this is going to be a tough swim for some of the athletes. You've really got to work out where best to place yourself with the choppy waters here and a bit of a current as well. We can see now we have almost 3 groups spread out across the water. Sighting is excellent here. The water conditions, although a little choppy, are very, very clear. Great pictures now as we look down at the swimmers. So the athletes that we should be looking out for, Tilianima from Great Britain. She's a great swimmer, swam a lot as a youngster. Seredni from Italy will be up there. Alicia Beto, who won a bronze medal in last year's European Championships. And we take a little look back to our championship race in 2024, which was won by Vicky Holland from Great Britain, now retired from the sport, and awaiting her second child. Lily Perriot from France won the silver, and then Alicia Beto
Buradan
racing here,
özellikle
the most
çıkarken birazdan
experienced
önünüzden
athlete in the
geçecekler.
field
Onlara
at 38 years of age and a
olgun, ne kadar iyi bir ev sahibi
two-time
olduğumuzu gösterelim.
Another athlete that
Aralarında
has
bir
really
Türk
come into
sporcunun da
form,
yarışmasına
Talikova
rağmen
as well,
hepsini canı gönülden
is
desteklediğimizi
racing really well so far
ifade
this year.
edelim
It's a
istiyoruz.
silver
Tabii
medal in
neyle?
the under
Alkışlarla.
23 championships.
And ladies and gentlemen, in the meantime,
just a
let's
few
have a look at our
weeks ago
start list.
in Malia. So we have an
the
athlete that's
athletes who
chosen
are
to go
racing
far
today,
left at the moment, and I'm
probably
wondering
the
if
list of
that's
the athletes
because
to watch in
they've
today's
picked
race.
out where
Of
the
course, we have
current
race
is
number
in
1, Alice Beto from Italy.
and that
She's
will
a
mean
two-time
that
Olympian, and
they
as
might get
we
a
said
better
at the
or worse
introduction
line
already, she
to our
finished in an
first big yellow
excellent
buoy,
7th
where the
spot
athletes
at the
will make
Tokyo
a
Olympic
left-hand
Games,
turn,
but she
before
also
making
claimed
another
2
left-hand turn, and they
podium
then
finishes
head back
at
to the
previous
pontoon.
European Championships. It was actually
So,
2 bronze medals for her.
Interesting look
Then we
down
have
at
Selina Klum from
our
Germany.
swimmers
She's
now.
the 2023
They are fairly
under
well
23
strung
world
out.
champion.
No surprise
She also
for me
won
to
the
see that
European
happening due
Championships
to
under
the
23
fact
that
that
same
we
year.
have some
And
athletes really just coming
she finished
into the elite
second
ranks here in
at the
Istanbul,
European
and some
Cup in
athletes that
Istanbul. So
have
she raced
years
here
of
last year and
experience.
finished
The
in second
first
spot.
European
So watch out for Selina
Championship
Klum from Germany.
event,
She's
well,
definitely
that took
one
place
of the favorites for
back
a
in
podium finish here. And
1985.
she's in excellent form because
And,
just a month ago she raced at the super sprint event in Tiszaújváros, Hungary at the World Cup event and finished 7th there. So she's definitely not lacking any speed. we have Jolien Vermeulen from Belgium. She's a Paris Olympian, finished 24th at the Paris
first
Olympics.
event, 1985, took place in
she claimed 3
West Germany
World Cup
on the
podiums.
23rd of
Year,
June. But
she finished
looking down
4th
at
the Hamburg
the athletes
World
taking
Championship Series
part
event,
here
which is an
today,
excellent 4th
Verena
place finish.
Steinhauser, there's
So
a
she's
really
definitely
strong
a
Italian
hot shot
contingent here.
and
Alito
definitely
Betto,
an
I was
athlete
just
to
talking
watch
about. Verena
out for
Steinhauser,
her podium
she was an
finish. And
Olympian
never
in
forget about Diana
2024.
Isakova.
She's got multiple
She's an,
World
individual
Cup
neutral
top
athlete.
5, so
She
if she
finished
has a decent
first
swim,
at 2 World Cup
she
races
is going to
already
love
this season.
this
First
bike
in
course.
Samarkand in Uzbekistan,
And then we have
then in Saida
Bianca
in
Seregni,
Morocco.
just
So
a
she
phenomenal
already
swimmer.
has
As we see
2
the athletes
World
now
Cup
coming
victories
around
this
that
season.
first
She's in
buoy,
excellent shape.
tight
So
round
watch
there, and we
out
can
for
see the
our
current
athlete racing with
there, just
race
slightly
number
pushing
4.
them over
Never
to the right.
outcount
So
Bianca
we have a
Seregni
definite
from
group
Italy.
here,
She's
and then a
a
break
3-time World
before
Cup
the
winner.
next group of
She
swimmers
finished
come around
second
that
at the World
yellow
Championship Series
triangle
event in Alghero,
buoy.
and second also
Water temperatures
at
around
the
about 20
Sprint
degrees,
European
just over.
Championships in Melilla earlier this year. So Bianca Seregni
So
from Italy racing with
Laria
race number
Zain
5.
also
Watch
racing
out for her
for
as well.
Italy.
But again,
Very
we have
experienced, 33
47
years
more
of
athletes on the
age.
start
She had
line,
a
and
really
anybody
good
is
race at
capable
the
to get into
Stadia
the
World
top 20,
Cup,
to get
finishing
into the
third,
top
and
10.
she's had
So it's going to
16
be a very,
top
very
World
exciting
Cup,
race here
top
in
10 podium,
Istanbul, at the
including
Europe
podiums, top
Triathlon
10 finishes,
Championships
including podiums.
2025.
So other athletes to look out for. The British have put in a strong team. Sophie Alden is there, had a good start to her 2025 campaign with a second place finish in Poland at the Europe Triathlon Cup event there.
Our athletes have reached the second turnaround buoy. Now they are on their
Laura
way
de
back
Merckx
to the
from
pontoon.
Switzerland as well,
That is
just 22 years of age, has spent
330
many
meters to cover.
seasons now, several seasons training with the bronze medalist from Paris, Beth Potter. Miriam Garcia, great
Değerli
to see
dostlar,
her
gördüğünüz
back
gibi
after
ikinci
some
dönüşte şu
injury
anda
as well.
tamamlanıyor.
She took the 5th place in Torremolinos at the
Çıkış
grand final
noktasından
last year.
ilk dönüş
And,
noktasına
raced
olan
both
mesafe
at Paris and
330
Tokyo Games.
metre.
Struggled with
İkinci
injury, but
duvarın uzaklığı da bize 330
has
metre.
raced
İki duvar arası
fit
90
in
metre.
the last few
Toplamda
weeks now.
750 metrelik bir mesafe.
Not least
Tekrar
in
ediyorum.
Chicago last week in
Çıkış
the Super
noktasında
Tri event there,
ilk duvara
finishing
kadar
5th
olan
and looking
mesafe
really strong.
330
So we have a breakaway
metre.
swimmer. We'll have to
İkinci
wait until the
duvarın da
athletes exit the
çıkış
water after the
noktasına olan
750
mesafesi
meters. Won't
330
be
metre.
too long.
Her iki duvarın arası
And
90
swim
metre.
time I'm looking for
Toplamda
today is probably
750
around
metrelik bir
about
mesafeyi
90
yüzerek kat
minutes or
etmeye
just
çalışıyor
over.
sporcular.
It's tough swimming conditions here. No wetsuits allowed. Water temperature around about 20 degrees. And what's looking down at it, it looks fairly benign. There is definitely a chop on the water. I've had my spies out there and they said the water conditions, because the wind does pick up in the afternoon. It is just after 1 o'clock local time in Istanbul. Great sights there of the swimmers strung out, some managing to get a pretty decent draft, but big gaps forming now at this Europe Triathlon Championship event. Annabelle Morton as well is another athlete to look out for in this swim, racing for Great Britain. She's had a decent start to her 2025 season with a 6th place finish in the Samarkand World Cup event, which took place now back in May. So no timings on our clock. We did start a little bit late for anyone just tuning in. A little bit of a late start generally, and then we had a full start and the athletes were called back to the pontoon. But they are well underway now, and we can just start to see on the right-hand side of our pictures the blue carpet where the athletes will exit this swim for the first time before diving back, heading down the pontoon and diving back into the water for another 750-metre lap. Well, I thought we might see a bit more of an obvious front breakaway, but at the moment, it's a fairly decent group of athletes, but it's normally at the halfway point when the athletes enter the water that we start to see the changes, and that is number 23. Brilliant to see Tilly Anima from Great Britain leading this European Championship swim. So it's Anima out in front, trying to pick out the numbers on the hat. That's the way we're going to be able to identify these athletes. But they head now to the blue carpet, and we can see the wind is up here. The flags are flapping madly in the wind.
Herkes alkışlıyor. Kim çıkarsa
Brings
çıksın.
out the first lap. Bit of a struggle out there of the water, and it's hard getting out of the water there. It's slippy and it's a little bit steep as well. And the athletes here really struggling, and that's where possibly the breaks will come as the athletes lose the feet. We've got two Spaniards out there, didn't manage to pick out any names, but I've got a feeling that was the Spanish athlete, Miriam Garcia, two-time Olympian.
Sinem'i gördüm şimdi.
Up there in the
Sinem
swim. I
Francesca
know she's on
Türkiye.
great form.
O da turunu tamamladı. İkinci 750 metre için şimdi suya atladı.
European Championship campaign. So there we have it. Tilly Anima is out of the water first in 9:48, and that's a slightly slower swim than we would expect, and I think take nothing away from the effort that these athletes are putting in. The conditions here are tough. There are currents in this water, and it's certainly choppy, as we can see how breezy it is. The pontoon there. I feel for any officials that are on the pontoon and suffer with seasickness, because they're going to be feeling it now. And we now have timing on our screen, right-hand side there of your picture. Now just over 11 minutes into this championship race. The men go tomorrow with the Asian
Evet, çoğunuz
Championship.
onları sadece bir tur yüzecek zannettiniz değil mi? 2 tur. Toplamda 1500 metre yüzüyorlar. İnanılmaz bir mücadele. Hepsi yürekten alkış hak
20
ediyor.
minutes past 1 in the afternoon here, and it's a tough time for the athletes to start a race midday, although they are used to it because these are the times that they will normally be racing, but perhaps not their normal training time. So as we mentioned, the European Championships have been running since 1985. Last year's edition, 2024, was in Fiji in France. That was won by the British athlete Vicky Holland, and there we can see some of the athletes there who've lost a bit of time. Looking down, no big hitters though. Looks like our front runners, the favourites for the race, are up in front. Di Soria from Spain, wearing number 43 there, has lost a little bit of time. But we can see there our leader out of the swim in 9:48. Leonima from Great Britain. She stumbled a bit coming out of the water, but the other athletes did too, so didn't lose any time. And the athletes now making their way around this second loop of 750 metres. Jolene Vermelin will be one that I think everyone will have their eye on today. From Belgium, fantastic swimmer, multiple World Cup podiums, European Sprint Champion 2025, got a lifetime's best on the World Triathlon Championship Series in Hamburg, taking a 4th place. That's a tough course. And most notably, the first place finish in Toronto on the first round of the Chiefs. She certainly is the informed athlete. I know she was heading back for them European title campaign title and the Olympic distance title. Jolene Vermelin from Belgium, 29 years of age, and looking down at our swimmer, we have another athlete really out in front, attacking the water there. We'll expect to see the athletes out in around about, looking at their halfway split, if they can negative split it, around about just under 20 minutes, but it might be a tough task in these choppy conditions. So always good to look back over the years and see the nations that have featured well in these championship events. And Great Britain tops the rankings at the moment with the 11 gold medals, 4 silver and 3 bronzes. European Championship racing that's taken place since 1985, 40 years ago. And for the last time we had the championship race, the European Championship race in Turkey was back in 2013 in Alanya. What a great venue that was. I raced there about 5 times, loved Alanya. It's a great history of triathlon there. So the athletes now have made their way round this second to last buoy. They will head across the water to one more final buoy before taking a left-hand turn and heading around about 350 metres back to the pontoon. And now someone out in front has decided they don't want to sit around any longer. The hammer has gone down. Big gaps forming in this championship race now in Istanbul. So if you are just tuning in, we are now coming up to 16 minutes on the clock into this championship race in Istanbul. Bit of a false start, which meant the athletes had to go back to the pontoon, but they are well underway now. 90 metres across from buoy to buoy. And this is a great swim, and I'm putting my money on the fact that it is Tilly Anima who had a great start to the first 750 metres. Let's see if the British athletes can hold her nerve, hold her line, and head out of the water first. And sometimes, if for no other reason, it means you hit transition with plenty of space to find your bike. There is a short run up to the transition area where the athletes there will pick up their bikes and head out onto what I've been told is a tricky bike course. It is 8 laps of 5 kilometres, 40 kilometres in total, but it's got a little bit of everything. It's got some straights, and then it's got a gradual climb with a nasty spike at the end of it before the athletes then head down the descent, which is fast and technical. So athletes that are really going to enjoy this bike course are definitely the likes of Miriam Garcias from Spain and Jolene Vermelin from Belgium, Verena Steinhauser as well from Italy, 31 years of age, such a dedicated, disciplined athlete. So depends where she comes out in this swim, slightly weaker in the swim, and I really think that this is a swim that is going to challenge the weaker swimmers. There are many triathletes that have great swim bike legs, and then we have the athletes that have the good bike run legs. The difficulty is you don't want to be left behind when you've got a big group of talented athletes out in front. So we can see there that the gap is big. It's a decent gap now from our lead swimmer. And we literally have a couple of 100 metres left to go. I suggested around about 20 minutes for this swim. I would expect to see them coming out closer to 19, but the conditions have not been favourable for a fast swim. It's a great swim. Visibility in the water is good. The water quality is fantastic. But the Turkish organisers have thrown us a great swim, challenging swim, with top on the water and a little bit of current to negotiate as well. So here we have it. The 1500 metres will soon be completed. Tilly Anima from Great Britain led out the first swim, the first 750 metre swim. Is she going to lead out this? For my liking, it certainly looks like the young British athlete
digital. Seja bem visto por todos. Por todos.
"19 minutes just over on the clock." And that, to me, looks like number 22, who is leading the swim. And it is Tilly there from Great Britain. Just a little look, a little sight, bit of sighting to make sure she's on track for the blue carpet and the exit of this swim. I said she was a decent swimmer, and she's absolutely nailed this swim right now. We've seen her racing on the Super Tri circuit this year in Toronto. So just 22 years of age this year. Let's see if she nailed this. That's a tough exit. That's a really tough exit, but she's out of the water, on her feet now, making her way through to transition. The hat is off. A little bit of a run, which gives the athletes a bit of time to sort themselves out, but it's not too long. The goggles are off, the hats are off, and the athletes now thinking about what lies ahead. Rodder from Great Britain, Seregni is out as well. Slabova is out from the individual. Let's have a look. Yeah, on the individual neutral athlete. She's had a great swim. White is out. Ryan is out. Beto is out, just 10 seconds down. So it's a big group of athletes now that are exiting the water. So Regni there coming through the pictures into transition. Gamur as well, just 10 seconds down. Dode from France as well, very experienced athlete. This transition needs to be super quick. And another athlete there, Selina Clamp, who was second in the Europe Tri in Istanbul in 2024. She was the under-23 world champion in 2022. Not quite found her form yet in 2025, but take nothing away from Selina Clamp from Germany, the 22 athlete. Very talented, experienced athlete. Tilly now deciding to ride ahead. And the important thing now, for those of you tuning in, is that they get a break, because there's a few athletes now in this lead chase group. And on this course, I think you'll work better in a smaller group of athletes. That is number 14, the athlete from Spain, trying to chase down the leaders. It is Marta Pintanel Raimundo from Spain, 24 years of age, who is leading this chase group. It is a technical bike course as well, and the athletes have to take this on. Times. It is 40 kilometres. It is 8 loops of 5 kilometres. There's long stretches of roads, and then the climb starts. It's gradual but progressive, and finishes with a spike at the top of the climb, before the athletes take the fast descent back down towards the blue carpet, and they'll do that 8 times. We can see little groups forming. Will they all come back together? Seeing around about 12 athletes that look like they could make a potential breakaway group here at the 2025 Europe Triathlon Championships in Istanbul. It's warm out here. The athletes have had a tough swim, and that really will hurt them for this tough bike ride. So Miriam Garcia's from Spain, just going through our pictures now. So we will try to pick out some more names for you. Overhead shots now. We can see, has Tilly Anima been caught? She did such a good job on that swim, kept it honest and quick, which meant, I think, some of the athletes, some of the weaker swimmers will struggle really now as this group of very talented athletes join together. A Portuguese athlete going through the pictures. So Portuguese athletes racing here today. We have Marianne Vagem, but Maria Tomei as well, national champion, bronze under 23 world champion. She is in this group. 23 minutes on the clock. Nice, smooth roads wide and open that work well for a pack of, I'm just counting, 4, 5, 6, 7, around about 12 athletes now in this lead group, with 3 tracers desperately trying to get on. Bike handling skills here are going to play a really big part in this 40-kilometer bike leg. So a couple of glances over the shoulder. Let's see if we can pick out some numbers on the helmet, but it really is a little bit tricky. So we can look back down at our swim now with the athletes, top 10 athletes. Jolene Vermelin rounded up the top 10 in 11th place. Tilly Anima from Great Britain led the swim out. She was followed by Germany's Selina Klamt. Martina McDowell was next out of the water. Katie Rodder from Great Britain having a really strong swim. Marta Pintanel Raimundo from Spain. Diana Isakova as well went well in the top 10. And Ilaria Zain from Italy down in 14th. Nora Gamer in 17th. Barbara Duconi was 16th out of the water. So we will bring you times as we have them. At the moment, though, we have 2 breakaway athletes, and they have a huge gap over the chasers now. So brilliant shots there of the transition zone. The age group races have been taking place already. And look back over the beautiful water and the pontoon that the athletes left around about 6 minutes ago. So just overhead shots of this brilliant race area. And nice, wide, open, smooth roads. And some of my spies out there have telling me that it's a great bike course. It's a challenging bike course. So there we have it. Our leader from the swim, Tilly Anima. We have a group of athletes trying to chase down our leaders. We have 2 athletes out in front. So that was transition 1, but it's all changed since then. So 4 athletes. These athletes now are our second chase pack. We have a larger pack out in front. We have 2 athletes leading this race. So the athletes now all back together again, it appears, swooping around the corner. And this pack has all come together. I feel that the athletes that I thought were out in the lead were actually back markers, but we head now to transition 1, and we will be able to get some more detail there for you as to who is in this main pack. And it is a big pack. I thought this pack might be a little bit more broken up because the swim was tough, 1,500 meters in the choppy waters. And now the athletes over the blue carpet, and they will head out on to the second lap of this course, which is 8 laps in total to make 40 kilometers. So the athletes now just coming around the bend, but these are our chasers. So we will hopefully get some details very shortly on our timing system and find out where our leaders are. we will be looking out for the likes of Alice Beto, bronze medalist in 2024, the very informed Belgium athlete Jolien Vermeulen, Bianca Seregni as well, who's had an absolutely outstanding season. She's finished second in the World Triathlon Championship Series in Al Jahero, and she was second behind Jolien Vermeulen in the Sprint Euro Champs, which took place a couple of months ago now. So look out for Bianca Seregni, Steinhauser, Ilaria Zane, the Italians, so strong in Europe. So after our first lap of 5 kilometers, it's Katie Rodder who led the way through transition. Nora Gamer from Switzerland, Maria Tomei from Portugal, Klimas was there, McDowell, Tilly Anima, who had such a great swim. Michalikova is there as well, having a really good race, won a silver medal at the Sprint Championships. Verena Steinhauser is in there, so great bike for Verena Steinhauser. Ilaria Zane is in there as well. Barbara de Koonik is in there. Alice Beto is in there. So Maria Garcia is in there too. So this is the bike leg. Annabelle Morton is in there. So this is a big group. These are our chasers at the moment. So we have a big group out in front, which contains many of the pre-race favourites. So a big group all working together out in front to stay away from these chasers. So I heard from Max Stapley, who has ridden this course, and he gave me a wonderful explanation of what the athletes will be experiencing here today. So the roads are very slick, he said. So that means the athletes have to be pretty cautious on some of the technical parts of the road. And it's got a real snake section, which goes up, a long drag up to the point where the climb gets pretty steep, and then it's a fast incline down. And the athletes will have a 10-kilometer run that awaits them, which is made up of 3 laps. So they are now well on their way into the second lap of this 8-lap bike course. Interesting to have a look back over the years at these European Championship races that are always so popular with the athletes. A lot of racing going on over the course of this weekend, but many of the top athletes choosing to come and fight it out for a European title. The first ever European Championship race was won by the famous Rob Burrell from the Netherlands. He took it for 4 years after that. Absolute incredible CV the athlete from the Netherlands has. And this is a group that are our chasers. So as we mentioned, it was Vicky Holland from Great Britain that won last year. And in the men's race, it was Sunga Lehmann from Hungary. The British women have won 22 medals in total. So no pressure for the British athletes. But we have Sophie Alden in this lead group, Rodder from Great Britain also, and Annabelle Morton is in there. So this is a look at our finish line here, where the athletes will hoping to cross the line first, or certainly in a medal position, top 10. Some athletes coming here to gain more experience. We have a fair amount of athletes here taking part that are just out of racing the junior races. And so we can see under the underpath here, this is our lead group. It is Nora Gamer from Switzerland, who heads this lead group. Great to see the young Swiss athlete who spends quite a bit of her time training with Beth, who won the bronze medal in Paris. So a group now of around about 12, 13 athletes. And in this front group, we mentioned Selina Clamp, who's looking really to make amends for a pretty difficult start to this year. But such a strong athlete, the young European athlete who won the silver medal at the European Cup race in Istanbul last year, and the World Under-23 champion from 2024 is in this group. And Susanna Mikhailikova as well, just 21 years of age this year. She is the European 2025 aquathlon champion, so she certainly knows how to run, and very much up and coming. Had a strong performance in Super Tri last weekend, so she's travelled from the States over to Europe to take part in this event. She finished 8th there, which was a great result for the very much up-and-coming athlete from Slovakia. So the athletes now finishing lap number 2 here in Istanbul, which means that we will be able to get you some more timing references as to who is in this lead group, and they are working well together, because looking back down the road, there is no one in sight. So this to me looks like our top athletes. And Jolene Vermeulen is in 26th position. So that's a bit of a surprise not to see the Belgium athlete a little bit further ahead up the field. So Susanna Mikhailikova, she is sitting in 20th position. I just mentioned her as the silver medalist from the Sprint Championships and the European Aquathlon Champion. She sits down in 20th place. 12th is Selina Clamp, and Alicio Beto as well, racing really well. 38 years of age. And take nothing away from her, she still is in great form and has the experience of an athlete that has raced in not just one Olympic race, she has raced in 2, and also found herself very much at the front of the field at previous European Championships, taking a bronze medal in 2024 in Vichy in France last year. So Bianchi Seregni from Italy as well, very strong swimmer. She was one of the top 5 athletes out of the water. We normally see her come out in front, dominates the swim, but I think a lot of athletes looking back to that 1500 meter swim were really challenged by the chop in the water and the little bit of currents that appear, even though the water area there is well protected by land. And so the athletes now really well strung out down the road in single file, which suggests that the pace is really on here at the moment. Look at that, neatly tucked one by one behind one another. And this is a really big group of athletes out in front. Nora Gamer from Switzerland came around the second lap, leading this big pack of athletes. Ellie White is in there as well. These are our chasers now coming through our pictures. 4 athletes in this little group. So if you're just tuning in, this is the women's event here in Istanbul, the women's Europe Triathlon Championships. The men will race tomorrow at the same time, 11 o'clock in the UK, 1 o'clock in Turkey. We'll have people tuning in from all around the world, but local time here is 11:50 in the morning. So to confirm, at the moment, Jolene Vermelin, the pre-race favourite, is in the lead group. And 26 athletes in this lead group. It's a big group. Some athletes in there will be looking to have a little bit of a dig on this bike course. It definitely lends itself to a good breakaway of a handful of athletes. It's tight in places, technical, and there's a climb which maybe in the first few laps of this 40-kilometre course won't put too much into these legs. But as the laps go round, the athletes are going to start to feel this bike course in their legs. And we can see a few fans out on the road on the top part of this bike course section where it gets tough, but there is a fast descent that the athletes can look forward to. Beautiful views there of that lovely castle there, but the athletes now will be well focused on their championship race. Well, the last time that Turkey staged a European Championship race was back in 2013 in Alanya. It's warm here today, and some of the athletes, I think, will feel that come the run. So these are our leaders now. It's a big pack of over 20 athletes. So coming up to 43 minutes on the clock of this championship race, and we have a lot of little groups scattered around this course. Now, as the 51 starters break up, but this group hasn't broken up. This is a big field. This is a big group of front runners here now, with the cutoff point being Miriam Garcias from Spain, who didn't quite manage to get on to this lead group. She's a strong cyclist and a strong runner, so can she pull anything back? And this is the end of the third lap now for our athletes. And just having a look down at our pictures, there are a couple of Spaniards in there. This is the hill that they start to climb. These are the chasers. That's Miriam Garcias from Spain, from Spain, sitting out in front now with 2 other athletes on her wheel. She would so love to be in that lead group. She had a tremendous race in Chicago last Saturday, so just a week ago.
And there they come around, ladies and gentlemen, once again.
Cross continents to be here to race in the championship event. So over the blue carpet goes Miriam Garcia for the end of the third lap. The athletes now well on the way around this 4th lap. They will be at the halfway point when they come back to transition at the end of this lap. So in this group, this is a chase group, but in our lead pack, we have many of the pre-race.
There is going to be another tricky turn there.
Isakova is there. She races under the individual neutral athletes flag at the
We are going
moment.
to see them once again.
Let's have a look, and we can see the athletes now. This is
Finishing lap number 3.
our leaders. This is our chase group, I believe. Yep, this is our chase group. Our leaders is a bigger group of around about 26 athletes.
We are now 44 minutes into our race. And still no decision yet, no major breakaways. So still around 25 athletes.
So still, I'm counting
Keeping ourselves
26
the chance
athletes
to
in
win
our
this race
lead
and
group at
go home
the
with a
moment.
medal.
Verena Steinhauser from Italy, such a strong cyclist. She's in there. Jolene Vermelin is in there. Alicia Beto is in there. And Barbara de Koning having a fantastic race as well. The young athlete from the Netherlands, tightly sitting in this lead group. Ellie White is in there. Katie Rodder is in there. Maria Tomei from Portugal as well is up there. Nora Gamur is there too. And Tilia Nima, great to see her in this lead group. She did so much work in the 1500 meter swim, leading out in front by a good 10 meters or so plus. And Hassie Flea Rackers from Belgium is in there. Ellie White from Great Britain, 24 years of age. And Hassie Flea Rackers from Belgium, just 21 this year. So great to see some of the younger athletes fighting it out with the big guns. And that is race number 31. Haskova from the Czech Republic, 23 years of age. And it's always such a difficult place to be when you're kind of stuck between packs. That's a tough, tough place to be. It really is. You have no one to work with. And as the clock ticks by, the motivation starts to wane ever so slightly. So a group of 4 now just coming through our picture as well. So these are our back markers in the race. These are athletes that have just completed or are just about to complete the 3rd lap before they head out on to their 4th lap. So 3rd lap done for our chase group of 4. And looking back down the field, Sophie Alden has dropped a bit of time as well from Great Britain. She had a strong start to her race, but this is a challenging bike course, as I said. Sandra Daudet from France as well has not made this lead group, which is really disappointing from the experienced French athlete. So 26 athletes in our lead group. And this looks to be, yeah, is that Sophie Alden? Just picking out the race number there. Tough, tough place to be here when you are right at the back of the field. But these athletes come to these races to get experience as well. And it's not easy when you're lacking the experience, perhaps. Sophie Alden, though, as I said, has had a good year so far, taking a 2nd place in the European Cup race in Poland earlier on this year. So she'll be a little bit disappointed. But then again, mishaps happen, all things can happen. But at the moment, she is still on the road, but at the back of the field, unfortunately, as the athletes come through this underpath. And it's a familiar sight to see Nora Gamur from Switzerland out in front. Such a strong cyclist, trains with Beth Potter. So has learnt from an Olympic medalist. So the group definitely getting strung out now. So just coming up to 50 minutes on the clock, 1,500 meters completed in the water. And the athletes now well on their way around the fourth lap. So they will be at the halfway point of this 40-kilometer bike ride. 8 laps in total. These are our leaders now. Still a big, big group. And the athletes all tightly bunched together. But Gamer from Switzerland has done so much of the front running, whilst other athletes have managed to sit in a little bit more tightly and get a bit of a breather, because the drafting effect definitely helps save some energy. So just looking on the left-hand side of our screen, those are our back markers. These are our leaders now. Katie Rodder from Great Britain is in this lead pack that have made their way through the transition area. Miriam Casillas, Guthie, a little bit frustrated there, because at the moment she is doing all the hard work in this chasing group. And this chasing group now around about a minute down on our leaders. So really frustrating for Miriam Casillas, who had a strong start, but just got dropped off the lead pack. And we can see now, these are our athletes that are in our lead pack. Ilaria Zain from Italy there. Such big disappointment for the Italian athlete last year when she didn't make the Olympic squad. I think she felt that third place was her, but they unfortunately didn't choose her. They went for Alice Beto. She's also in this group, 2 times Olympian already. And Brenna Steinhauser as well. I've mentioned her. I've been very fortunate to have traveled with her to many races on the Super Tri circuit. And I have to say, you won't come across a more disciplined athlete. So Brenna Steinhauser, also a really strong runner, had a great swim to make this lead pack. And Jolene Vermelin there, sitting quietly as she always does, keeping out of trouble, touch wood. And Jolene Vermelin, who we've spoken about quite a bit already, but for my liking, I think I haven't seen a tougher athlete than when I saw her race in Super Tri League's first event in Toronto a couple of months ago now. And she took on Cassandra Beaugrand, the Olympic champion, and crossed over the finish line in first place, with Laurent Perrier also racing. Leonie Perriot racing for France. Not here today, took a silver medal here in Vichy at the last European Championships. She has other races on this weekend. But I think that Jolene Vermelin will be tough to beat on this course. The run course that the athletes have to look forward to will be 10,050 meters, so just over 10 kilometers, 2 laps of 3,450. We're having a look there at the finish post that we will see the athletes in about an hour's time. But yeah, here we go. And so those are our chasers, and we can see now some of them have lost a lot of time. All are there from Romania, Turkish athletes as well.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's going
So
to be 8 laps on the bike.
over 3 minutes time. Over 3 minutes.
So once
down
our
now.
athletes return, they'll
Our
have
athletes are
4
just
more laps to go.
the end of their third lap. So, fans starting to come out on this course to support the athletes. The men's race is tomorrow. The women's place kicked off just after 11 o'clock local time here in Istanbul. So Miriam Garcia's is around about a minute down on our leaders now. Just under, around about 45 seconds. So Miriam Garcia's from Spain doing a really good job on the bike there to just try to stay in touch. She's got a great run leg on her, so she possibly can pull back some decent places on the run. The run, 3 laps, and it's on sort of parklands and gritty roads. So it's not going to be the fastest of courses. It's going to challenge the athletes, as this bike course is right now. 8 laps with a little bit of everything: long straight flats, a climb, and a fast descent back to finish off the lap. Those are our back markers now. A little group of 6 just going through our pictures. Jolene Vermelin is in there. Alicia Beto is in there in the lead pack. Ilaria Zane is there. Susanna Mikalikova is in there from Slovakia. Keep an eye out for her, the under-23 silver medalist in the Sprint European Championships a few weeks ago. Just 21 years of age, the Slovakian athlete. So this is our finish line. We'd rather be on the race, but this is what lies ahead for the athletes. But they are away off the finishing post just now with 55 minutes on the clock. We will be expecting an overall finish time of under 2 hours, but this is not the fastest of courses. This is slightly long on the bike and the run, and the swim was a challenging, choppy
Ladies and gentlemen, our
100 meters.
athletes will come back shortly. Our first group of athletes are going to return to complete number 4 and then start lap number 5, which would mean they would be at the halfway mark shortly, completing 20Ks, another 20Ks to go on the bike.
So our athletes now, the leaders, out on lap 4.
So let's see how it pans
and
out.
they are
What
not
we can
far
say for
away
sure
from
is
the end
that
of
Bianca
lap 4 now,
Severini,
and there they will head out onto lap
Miller
5,
from
halfway
Switzerland,
around
and also
this
Diana
fairly
Isakova.
challenging
They are
bike
definitely
course.
representing.
And we can see on the left hand of our
themselves in the first
screen,
group.
not massively clear, but the
That's all good.
athletes there that are
So most
a little way
of our
down the field now.
top favorites for the victory here are into that
Sophie
group.
Olden
And there they
is
come,
the
ladies and gentlemen.
51st place athlete.
Now
She'll be a
around
little
the
bit
tricky turn.
disappointed with this championship race, but great to see her out on the course. She might not take away a medal, but she'll take away experience, and experience is worth everything at this level of racing. So the front runners now still really attacking this bike course, which is great to see. Still very much in single file till you get to the back of the pack there.
No decision made yet. Let's see if somebody's trying to attack on the second part of the bike. Well, definitely some athletes there who are very confident in their, or who have confidence in their running abilities, like Diana Isakova. So I'm pretty sure if it was her decision, she would just sit on and wait until the run to start. However, there are some athletes into that group, like our Swiss athletes, who might try to give it a go again and to try to break away. We never know. We are now close to 1 hour into our race, and there comes around our chase group containing 14 athletes, ladies and gentlemen. So the majority of our field into those 2 groups. So approximately 24, 25 athletes in our first group, and then 14 athletes in our second, which would add up to almost 40 athletes, and we had 52 on the start line. So 80% of our field are cranking it up in either the first or the second group at the moment. It is 13 athletes in our chaser group. This is now our chase group number 2, including Romana Gajdošová from Slovakia. Ladies and gentlemen, we are now 1 hour and 2 minutes and 30 seconds into our race. And the athletes are on their 5th lap out of 8. And doing a lot of work into that first group is Katie Rodda from GBR.
So Katie Rodda from Great Britain is really working hard at the front of this bike pack.
We have some other fantastic athletes.
These are our chasers just now. 51 athletes started this race, and we have 26 athletes still in our lead pack. But many athletes now spread out around this 5-kilometer lap. 4 athletes just going through the picture now. So our leaders, 26 of them in the lead group. They are well on their way around this 5th lap. And so that is one of our back markers now, just coming through the pictures. Wearing number 11, Sandra Daudet from France. Such an experienced athlete and has raced well at these championships events previously, but today is not the French athletes' day. France previously have raced well, particularly for the women. Leonie Perriot taking the silver medal last year, not racing here this weekend. And probably one of the most successful athletes at the European Championships has been the great Nicola Spirit, who won a gold medal at the Olympics in London, then took silver behind Gwen Jorgensen in Rio. She won this race back in 2009 for the first time, then in 2010, then in 2012, 2014 and 15, and 2018. So the most successful European athlete, and probably one of the greatest triathletes really of all time. Another athlete as well, Vanessa Fernandes from Portugal, who took the silver medal in Beijing. She won it on 4 consecutive occasions from 2004 to 2008. So this is our chase group. It's 26 people, and here we are, 26 athletes in this lead group now, coming through our pictures. It's a big group still. No one attempting a breakaway. Many athletes sitting in there just keeping out of trouble, saving their legs for the run, which is going to be tough after this bike course. Last count was 26. We'll get another count when they come round at the completion of lap number 5. So nice conditions, it's warm, but the athletes here relatively protected from the wind. Not so much in the 1500 meter swim, which was choppy, but out here on these relatively smooth roads under the trees, they are protected a little bit from the wind. This is a chase group of 5 now coming through our pictures. Miriam Casilla is the lead chase group from Spain. She is working with her fellow teammates as well. Good to see her getting a break and getting a bit of a tow, because she's worked incredibly hard. On my last count, they were 45 seconds down on our leaders. Let's see if that gap has decreased or grown. So looking at our leaders, Michaela Stabova is still in our lead group. Martina McDowell as well, having a fantastic race. Ellie White as well from Great Britain. Nora Gamur is up there. Jolene Vermelin. But at the moment, 26 athletes have pretty much stayed together from the first lap. We haven't seen any real genuine attempts of a breakaway. Maybe that will come in the latter stages. The athletes are now well on their way around this 5th lap. They will have 3 to go, 15 kilometres after this. It is 8 laps of 5 kilometres. We can see Annabelle Bell Morton is still in there. Desiree Gamur from Switzerland with her teammate as well is up there. So good, strong riding. The pace is on 1:07 on the clock. So this is not going to be a overall quick time today. The swim and the bike playing a big part in that. And it's also pretty warm out there, my spies tell me. So this is a chase group that comes through our pictures at the moment under the flyover now. This is becoming a familiar sight for these athletes. 8 times they have to do it. Sometimes you wonder, how do they keep count? But thankfully, at the end of the penultimate lap, there is a bell that signals just 1 lap to go. So we still have 26 athletes in our lead group, I can confirm. So for those of you tuning in and not being able to pick out someone you're following, we have Michaela Stabova in this lead group. We have Martina McDowell in here, Marta Pintanel Raimundo from Spain. Pristia is in here as well. Tilly Anima as well, who led out the swim so magnificently, is sitting quietly in this lead group, staying out of trouble. And that's exactly what she needs to do. Teresa Simjanova is up there. Katie Rodda as well. Brenna Steinhauser from Italy. Maria Tomei from Portugal is up there. Jolene Vermelin sitting, as she has done very intelligently, at the back of this pack. There are no rules to say an athlete has to take a turn up front. And Jolene Vermelin is playing this bike leg very sensibly, by my reckoning, waiting to pounce when it comes to the run, because she's strong right across the board in swim, bike, run. But I have to say, her running is probably the quickest that it's ever been. So look out for Jolene Vermelin from Belgium, the recently crowned sprint champion, keeping herself out of trouble in this lead group. And so the three athletes that are trying to chase down this group, unfortunately, the gap is growing. It's over a minute now. It was around about 45 seconds on lap number 3. So Miriam Garcia is in 27th position, and she's just over a minute down now. And she's with her fellow teammate, Maria Teresa Jimenez Orta is up there. And Kaj Dosova is the third athlete that is in that chase pack. But at the moment, unfortunately, they are losing time on this big group of leaders, 26 athletes in the lead group at the moment. So here is a group of 5 coming through our pictures. We will pick out some names and numbers as soon as our timing updates. So sitting behind our lead chase group, not our leaders, our lead chase group, is Rebecca Betty is up there. Valentina Riasova is up there as well. Felipe Herman is up there. Amaral Almidi is up there. Basa Kakova is up there as well. But they are now a good couple of minutes down on our 26 leaders at the moment. And I call them our leaders because they are all in one pack. Some have done more work than others, but not a bad decision on this tough bike course, particularly if you're not a technically strong rider, and also if you're looking to save some energy for the 10-kilometer run up ahead. It's going to be a pretty tough one. So 5 athletes now in this second chase group.
And there they come around, ladies and gentlemen. One more time, our lead group.
So here are our lead group at the end of lap number 5. And Starbova from the Czech Republic takes to the front. Tusavera from Turkey is in this lead group. I'm just checking. She certainly is in our lead group. So a great ride so far from the local favourite. Tusavera wearing number 23. Yeah, 31-year-old home favourite, hoping to bring home a medal for Turkey. Sara Guero Manso from Spain, also in this league group. Spain have brought a strong team here to Istanbul to race this weekend. Their top athlete, Miriam Garcia, though, not making this lead group, unfortunately. But teammate Sara Guero Manso.
So the time gap between our lead group and our chase group,
as is Marta Pintanel
1
Raimundo
minute.
as well. So 2 Spanish athletes, by my count, in this
15
lead
seconds,
group
1
at the
minute
moment.
15 only. Which is, of course, quite a lot but still not impossible to beat.
So we will wait
However,
to see where the
we
chasers, the
have
three
to
chasers, headed by
Mention that we
Miriam
have some
Garcia
excellent runners in our
Escafia
top group.
from Spain. At the end of lap 4, their gap,
So you
the
will have to
deficit had
run
risen to
over
a
a minute
minute.
into the likes of Diana Isakova and Bianca Serregni, which is certainly not the easiest thing to do.
So looking at our timing now, that chase group are 1 minute and around about 13 seconds down on the leaders. Rising to 1 minute 20. So there is still hope for our chasers to pull back sometime when it comes to the run. But at the moment, they are on the 6th lap with 3 laps to go and losing seconds each lap, vital seconds. 1 hour and 15 minutes now on the clock. Our drone there getting some nice pictures, and the water perhaps looking a little bit calmer than it did an hour and 15 minutes ago. But this is where our swim took place, and we are now back with one of our chase groups. This is the second chase group. We continue to have 26 athletes out in front. So Dode from France has caught one of the back markers, which is good. Perhaps they can begin to work together. So sitting in 50th and 51st position currently, Sophie Alden and Sandra Dode as well. And they have lost a considerable amount of time, around about 3 minutes to our lead group of 26 athletes. Strong work from the British athletes at the moment. We have Katie Rodder in there. And we have Tilly Anima as well, who led out the swim. Nora Gamer from Switzerland in our lead group. Ellie White as well from Great Britain, still tucked in there in 10th place the last time they came over the timing map. Barbara de Koning as well, just 22 years of age this year. Had a great swim, coming out in the top 10. 51 athletes on the start line today, racing. This is going to come down to a super quick 10K run. Alicia Beto is one of the athletes that has perhaps the most experience in the lead group. 38 years of age. Steinhauser from Italy as well, 31. Ilario Zane is 33 from Italy. So I've been very impressed by the Italian team out here today. They really have put out their very best, which is great to see them supporting the Europe Triathlon Championships. As I mentioned, it's the championships have been running now since 1985, where they started out in Germany. So across the blue carpet and the timing mat now for our chasers who will be heading out onto the 6th lap. 8 laps, just a reminder of 5 kilometers. So it looks as if though Sophie Alden from Great Britain is out of the race because her timing chip hasn't updated now for some time. Big gaps really are forming now, and that is no surprise at all. So the athletes now just preparing for transition for T2. So they are off their bikes. Really important to make sure you get off your bike before the dismount line, otherwise you will incur a penalty. It is Ilaria Zane from Italy that leads the way. 26 athletes in this lead group at the moment, which is fantastic to see. And this is going to come down to an immensely tough run. Who is going to head out fast? Ilaria Zane having a really good transition there. And our British athletes as well leaving. Annabelle Morton is up there. Great to see. We're looking out for Vermeulen from Belgium as the pre-race favourite for the gold medal here. How has she fared in transition? The athletes now heading out on to the 10-kilometre bike course. These are our back markers now. They will have a little way to go still before they get to the end of their 40 kilometres. But at the moment, we have 26 athletes out on the run course. And I can check our timing system and give you some updates as to who is there. These athletes, though, a way to go on the 40-kilometre course. So Ilaria Zane indeed did lead out the run. And this is our chase group now working hard. Miriam Garcia's was swallowed up. She tried to stay away for at least 7 laps of this 8-lap course. Selina Klamp from Germany having a tremendous race to be sitting in 2nd place after T2. Jolene Vermeulen managed to move up into 4th. Marta Pintanel from Spain ran out in 3rd position. Nora Gomur was up there as well. Mikalikova from the Czech Republic, the young, recently crowned silver medalist at the Sprint Championships in Malia, is in contention at the moment. Katie Rodder as well, having a really fantastic championship race. Bianca Seregni, silver medalist from the Sprint European Championships. She was up there as well. And we can see now our chasers coming through the pictures. And I will give you a bit of a time reference in a minute as to how far they are behind the leaders. There will be 1 or 2 athletes for sure that the likes of Miriam Garcia from Spain, such a strong runner, will be able to pull back.
We can get up out of here and go and have some fun. But first you gotta tell me where I know you from.
So these are our bikers still out on the course. They are still making their way round their final lap. We do know that if an athlete is lapped on the bike course, then they are taken off the course and marked as DQ'd. So these athletes are safe, but they still have a little way to go to transition. Another athlete comes through our pictures now. We will hopefully return to our leaders who are out on their first lap of this interesting run course. It's 10,050 metres, 2 laps of 3,450 metres, finishing off with a 1 lap 3,150 metre run. And these are our chasers. This is Two other athletes coming in, and that is one of the athletes racing under the individual neutral athletes banner as well. So they're moving too fast for me to pick out the numbers, but we'll get timing references in a minute to see who those athletes are. So, but still in the top 26, Alicia Better was there, Barbara de Koning was there, Jonavine Seenrig was there as well, and Clara Karlquist as well. So two more athletes coming off their bike, safely finishing this technically challenging, tough 40-kilometer bike course. It's one of the Slovakian athletes that comes through the picture, 51 and 52. So Yeve Soroka from Ukraine and Jen Sakeya, one of our individual neutral athletes as well, just out onto the run course. So these are the back markers. They're still yet to finish their 8th and final lap of this 40-kilometer bike leg. But at the moment, we have 26 athletes way out on the run course now. And we will have to wait around about another 10 minutes or so before they complete the first lap of 3. Great conditions here in Istanbul today, nice and quiet, and they're protected here from the wind, not as they were in the water. It's a great swim led out by Tilly Anima from Great Britain. So we are waiting now. We have 44 athletes through T2, transition 2, where races can often be won or lost. These are the final 4 athletes just coming through now, preparing themselves for transition as they remove their Velcros and their feet from their bike shoes. They'll dismount just after they cross this blue carpet and head into transition for the final time. So Mariana Vergam is through. Haskova is through as well. So hopefully now, and that is the final athlete coming out as she puts her sunglasses on, racing for Portugal. Madalena Amaral Almeida from Portugal, 25 years of age, final athlete to go out onto the 10-kilometer run course. So a long way behind our leaders now. A good 5 minutes or so behind the leaders, heading out onto the run lap. Our bike leaders in T2 were Selena Clamp and Ilaria Zain, who did a lot of the running on the bike. Jolene Vermelin, who sat in and kept herself out of trouble, biding her time for this 10-kilometer run. Robin Dredgeling as well was in that lead group. So the young 21-year-old from the Netherlands having a fantastic championship race. 26 athletes in that lead group, but only 3 medals to give away. Hopefully we would get a little glance back down the road to see where our leaders are at the moment. These are the chasers. They're around about 5 minutes down on our leaders. So if you put that in terms of meters, it's, well, a good 1,300 meters down the road. 1 hour and 30 minutes just coming up on the clock. Beautiful sight there of the water and where the swim took place an hour and a half ago. So we will hopefully very shortly let you know.
Ladies and gentlemen, there comes our lead group coming around for the first time. Remember, it is going to be 3 laps on the run.
Off the bike and out onto the run.
The finish shoot, it's going to be only 2 more laps to go.
Running tough now, just
which means approximately
back one of the
6.2
athletes
kilometers.
That came out in front of her.
Since the first lap is longer than the
P2.
second 2 laps.
So running strongly, but 5 minutes down on our leaders.
Let's bring them through, ladies and gentlemen. There comes our leading race official on the bike. And there comes our leaders.
So the leaders now well on their way around this first lap of 3,450 meters. They are unusual distances.
There they come, there they
and
come,
they won't
there they
be
come.
used to this. They're normally used to 4 laps of 2.5 kilometers. That's what we normally see in these races. But to make it a more or less accurate 10K, the organisers were left with 2 laps of 3,450 and 1 lap of 3,150. This is the Portuguese athlete now, who is around about 5 minutes down on our leaders.
Beto now, our race number 1, approximately sitting in 10th place.
So in a short while we will have an update.
Değerli konuklar, görüyorsunuz elit
as they make their way around
ve şu anda artık 3. etaptalar. 3. etaptalar.
Run course of 10 kilometers. So at the moment we are saying that it is Sophie Olden. So apologies to any families or fans that heard me say that Sophie was out of the race. I think she must have lost her timing tip. I wasn't able to give an update on where she was. Difficult to pick out with these pictures as well, where the athletes are on the course. This currently is one of the fat markers. It's the Portuguese athlete here who is sitting around in around about 49th position. So,
She's not, she's last. The timing is forget timing.
yes, I'm just getting some updates through to say that Sophie Olden is actually a little bit further down the field, or we think she hasn't been able to finish her race or lost her timing tag. So apologies if you are just tuning in and looking at our graphics on the screen. Sophie Olden from Great Britain is not in the lead of this race at the moment.
It is Chile, Anema, and then race number 14, Marta Pintanel, and Diana Isakova. That's our leading trio. Right behind we have Kat Vermeulen, Jolien Vermeulen from Belgium, Bianca Sereni, and Zimovianova. Sereni from Italy and Zimovianova.
So at the moment, looking at our top 10, I can confirm that we have Tilly Anema out in front at the moment. Zakova is just behind her. Marta Pintanel Raimundo from Spain is behind her, and our pre-race favourites, Jolien Vermeulen, Bianca Seregni, who took the gold and silver medal at the Sprint European Championships consecutively, are sitting in 5th and 6th. Simovayanova is up there in 7th place. Angelika Prestia is up there in 8th. Saraguera Manso from Spain is currently in 9th position. And Susanna Mihailikova racing well in number 9. Maria Tomei is rounding up the top 10 currently, but we have a way to go yet on this 10-kilometer run. You are looking at pictures of the finishing post where these athletes long to be, but we still have a way to go at the moment.
Evet, evet. Ver coşkuyu burada. Burak şimdi biraz hızlı ama.
So Selena Clamp has drifted a little bit down the field, which is disappointing to see, sitting in 17th
Şu anda ilk 25
at the moment. White has lost a bit of time on that first lap, sits in 22nd. Annabelle Morton rounds up our lead group in 26th position, 38 seconds down now on our leaders.
Why do they show her she's from the last lap? Like she's from one of the last athletes. Terrible. Like the on broadcast is terrible. Bad. Very bad. Like she's like in 45. Why do you show her? She was in the last group.
Yeah, so the athlete in our pictures at the moment is one of the back markers. She is still on her first lap of the run. But it is Tilly Anima from Great Britain that leads the way at the moment. We have a tight little group of 5 athletes, not separated by much at the front of the field. So Tilly Anima is there. Diana Isakova, racing under the individual neutral athlete flag, is there. Marta Pintanel Raimundo is up there. Jolene Vermeulen sits in 4th. Bianca Seregni is in 5th. Those are our top 5 athletes at the moment.
36. sırada ama rakipleriyle arası çok da açık değil. 10 kilometrelik mesafede hala birçok rakibi geçme şansına sahip. Heyecan içerisinde biraz daha Sinem'in yarışmaya asılıp daha üst sıralarda yer almasını bekliyoruz.
So we have around about another 20 minutes or so of running. This is one of our back markers. In our top 10, we have the Portuguese athlete Maria Tomei running strongly. Alicia Beto is down in 12th. Verena Steinhauser, who worked so hard on the bike, is down in 13th. Gamur from Switzerland just goes through our pictures now. And I can see the official on the sideline there with number 2. She is on number 2, lap number 2 of 3,450 meters. So the course here goes out into some park area. It's a little bit grassy underfoot in places. At the moment, they're on a stretch of a road. So one of our back markers now coming through the screen. We will try to update you, but until we get some timings through, confirm anyone is out in front when they're not. We know that Anima is out there for Great Britain, as is Jolene Vermeulen. Bianca Seregni is there. Those are our top 5 athletes. Diana Isakova as well is there. Marta Pintanel Raimundo having a really strong run from Spain. She's in the top 5 at the moment as well.
Halen yarışma devam ediyor. Müthiş mücadelede şu anda. Atletlerin neredeyse Tamamı mı arkadaşlar geçti?
So
Koşuya.
overhead shots there of this very, very pretty part of Istanbul.
Evet, az sonra
Stunning area. And just where we see the
canlı
boats
yayında
going
burada
out
görme
is where
şansına
the swim
sahip olacağız.
took place an hour and 40
Saat 1'de
minutes
biliyorsunuz
ago.
start almıştı.
It was Tilly
Önce
Anima,
bir
who is
hatalı
still out in
çıkış
front
meydana
in this
geldi.
race at the
Hatalı
moment,
çıkışın ardından
led the swim out.
çıkış bir daha tekrarlandı ve şu anda sıkıntısız, sorunsuz bir şekilde yarışma devam ediyor.
So that's the transition area, and that is our finishing area where we will see the athletes now in around about 50 minutes time, perhaps a tad more. You can see they will have a grassy underfoot finish before they hit the finish line.
Once more. There's going to be one more lap to go. Tilly Anima.
So just to have a little chat about our athlete who's in the lead at the moment for Great Britain. We imagine that those positions are going to chop and change over the next few kilometres as we come to the end of this championship race. So Tilly Anima there, who's had a tremendous 2005, taking a European Triathlon Cup victory in Quartiera in Portugal. Really, really strong there. And she got a 5th place finish in the World Cup in Samarkand, and at the Hungarian World Cup event in Tiszi, she got a 4th place finish. So we do know that Tilly Anima is in great shape at the moment. That's Sandra Dodé from France, who is good 5-6 minutes down the field, and unfortunately not quite bringing the form to this championship race that we've seen from her before. That's the young Slovakian athlete there, who is sitting in around about 49th position at the moment. So Danushka from Slovakia, 19 years of age. She is around about 15 minutes, around about 5 minutes down, 6 minutes down now on our leaders. But that lead group of women is being broken up as the running kilometres tick by. So one athlete looks like she has had enough. Timing chip is off, and she's called it a day before she's even taken her gel on board. I think the athlete's finding the conditions and the course here just a bit challenging, and you don't know either how an athlete has come into this race and how they're feeling. Gumur from Switzerland, she's not in the lead. She was in the top 26 off the bike in T2. So we will await the end of this lap of 3,450 metres. The athletes will have one lap to go of 3,150 metres at the end of this run lap. So these are our 3 leaders now out in front. I can pick that out because that is the lead cyclist. So we will await to see who they are and confirm as soon as we get definite timings. So 1 lap to go for our lead women now. We have a little breakaway of 3 athletes out in front, with one just ever so slightly dropping off the back.
Ben kendi kendime konuşuyorum ya. Şu anda resmi olmayan bilgiye göre 4 sporcunun
So currently at the moment, on my last check,
sporcu
I had Tilly Anima in first place. She was followed by Diana Isakova and then the Spanish athlete Marta Pintanel Remundo.
Tri. 3 sporcu. Düzeltiyorum. 3 sporcu şu anda yarışma dışı.
So here we go. 2 laps down, 1 lap to go. And it looks to be the Belgium athlete. I can tell the running style. I've seen it quite a lot over the last few months. Jolien Vermeulen is now leading the 2025 Europe Triathlon Championships, but she is closely followed by Tilly Anima. This is a wonderful race for an athlete that wasn't able to run in 2024. But in 2025, we've seen her with some really decent results. A former swimmer turned triathlete, sitting in the silver medal position here at the Europe Triathlon Championships in Istanbul. So these athletes now coming through our picture are in the top 10. At the moment, Jolien Vermeulen from Belgium leads the way. She is the current sprint European champion. Tilly Inema from Great Britain sitting in silver. Diana Isakova is in third in the bronze medal position. Bianca Soregni from Italy has lost a little bit of time though, and has fallen out of the podium positions at the moment. There is our official with number 1, and that will be a nice sight for these athletes who have been racing now for an hour and coming up for 46 minutes and 30 seconds. So that is Marie Tomei from Portugal. That is having a strong, I was going to say, I thought it was Marie Tomei, but it's not. Yes, it is Marie Tomei. Sometimes a little bit difficult to pick out who the athletes are. And I've got a feeling that's actually not Maria Tomei. That's one of our back markers, the other Portuguese athlete that is in this race. Almeida, I think, but I will try and confirm that with you when my timing updates. Oh, it's our Turkish athlete. There we go. So apologies for that, for anyone tuning in. It is Tus Severa from Portugal, from Turkey. So great results so far. Had a great swim and bike. So the local athlete, let's call her a local athlete from Turkey, Sinme Francesca Tus Severa from Turkey was in the lead group of 26. I'll confirm her overall position in just a moment. So the top 10 athletes now. Alice Beto rounding up the top 10. Maria Tomei wears number 9 and is currently sitting in 9th place. Marta Pintanel Raimundo from Spain dropped down the field a little bit, but still sitting in 8th. Prestia, Angelica Prestia in 7th. Sara Guerrero Manso is in 6th. And Mikhailakova, the athlete that took the silver medal in this sprint under 23, sitting in 5th place position. This is an athlete, young athlete, who really is going from strength to strength, 21 years of age, and she is our athlete who's currently sitting in 5th place. But Jolien Vermeulen is out in front from Belgium at the moment. Is she going to take a Olympic distance title to add to her sprint distance title. At the moment, she's looking good, but Tilly Anima is not going to let her have her all the own way. 3,000 meters to go. They are on lap number 3 of this 10-kilometer bike course. 3 laps in total. It's been a challenging day for some of these athletes. There are short flight inclines on the run as there were on the bike, and the weather conditions here are good, windy and warm. So Barbara de Kooning leading the chase group there.
This is the group of Alice Beto, led by de Kooning.
So Alice Beto is with Barbara de Kooning. Barbara de Kooning, just 22 years of age, is having perhaps one of the best races that I've seen from the young Dutch athletes so far.
So Barbara de Kooning trying to keep the pace up.
So Alice Beto is up there, as is Ilaria Zain, as is Tomei. These athletes fighting out for 10 positions now.
And this is Helena Knappy.
Up ahead down the road, though, and leading the race, Jolien Vermeulen from Belgium, Tilly Anima from Great Britain in silver, and Diana Isakova in third. So Diana Isakova, 24 years of age, sitting in the bronze medal position, very much young, up-and-coming triathlete. She has won 2 World Cup races so far, and Samarkand World Cup was won by Diana Isakova and Sadia as well, a little bit earlier on this year, but an athlete with a huge amount of potential. At the moment, racing under the neutral flag. So these are our athletes sitting in 10th, 11th, 12th and 13th position at the moment. Alice Beto, 38 years of age and still looking so strong. Ilaria Zain, her teammate, just sitting on her heels at the moment. We'll try to take you up to the front of the race to see what is happening. It was close between the Belgium athlete and the British athlete as well. So we probably have another 5 or 6 minutes of running to go. The pontoon on the left-hand side of your pictures where the swim took place. The men will be there tomorrow at 1 o'clock local time. And we're just taking a look over the finishing line area at the moment. So the Slovakian athlete, just one of our back markers. Young Slovakian athlete, but a little bit out of the picture at the moment. Really strong run from the Spanish athlete, just struggling to pick out the race number. The Spanish have brought really strong team here today. Miriam Garcia was really hoping for a lot better and lost just a tiny bit of time from transition out on to the bike lap, and unfortunately it meant that she lost that lead group and then ended up a minute and a half down the road at the end of the 40-kilometer ride as Switzerland's Gamer goes through our pictures. So that is Sara Guerrero Manso, who is looking absolutely majestic and is really showing us the potential that she has. We haven't really seen a massive amount of her racing just yet, but certainly looks like to be one of the athletes that we're going to see a lot more in the future. 26 years of age, Guerrero Manso, looking very strong and is the lead Spaniard in this race. Yankee Seregni On our previous count at the end of lap 2 was sitting in 4th position.
Last time they came around, we had Jolien Vermeulen from Belgium, Anema from GBR, and we have Diana Isakova in our leading trio. And we are just a few hundred meters away, 300 meters out, ladies and gentlemen. So let's get yourself ready.
So our athletes now, the top 3 athletes are around about 300 meters from the finish. We will hope to go back, and as I say that, here we are at the finish line now. It looks to be Jolien Vermeulen from Belgium, who is going to add another European title on top of that sprint title she took a good few weeks ago now in Melilla. And an athlete that really has, at the right time, 29 years of age, come into the form of her life.
We are 1:55 into our race.
An hour and 55 on the clock. I thought it might be around about the 2-hour mark, but considering the conditions here, the heat and the wind and the water conditions, this is a decent time for these women. 2025 Europe Triathlon Championships.
This is Jolien Vermeulen, ladies and gentlemen. Race at the Paris Olympics.
So I am just hearing, we are currently on the Spanish athletes at the moment, but it is Jolien Vermeulen who is out in front now, has taken the title, the European title, in a time of 1 hour and 55 minutes. Isakova took the silver, and Anema, she will be absolutely delighted with that. A bronze medal for Anema from Great Britain. So great racing there from our top 3 athletes. There you have it. Jolien Vermeulen takes another gold medal, another European title to add to her ever-increasing medals that she is winning. And it is Bianca Seregni comes across the line in 4th position. A commendable result, perhaps not the one she came here for, but 4th place in the Europe Triathlon Championships. Mikhalikova rounding up the top 5. Superb performance from the young 21-year-old Slovakian. Just 52 seconds down on Jolien Vermeulen. So showing us that she's not just a runner, just not a swimmer and a biker, but a runner too. Guerrero from Spain rounding up the top 6. Prestia in 7th place. Pintanel Raimundo from Spain in 8th. So Spain have 2 athletes in the top 10. Now, as Tomé from Portugal comes across the line to take 9th position, and Verena Steinhauser in 11th. Barbara Takunik managed to hang on to top 10. Alicia Beto in 12th.
And shortly we are going to welcome another Italian athlete to the finish line, Ilaria Zani. Welcome, Ilaria.
And so Ilaria Zane, another Italian athlete, making her way now over the finish line in 13th position. Italy with 4 athletes now in the top 13.
From the Czech Republic, our next finisher. Welcome. And welcome to our next finisher from the Netherlands.
So Simeonova across the line in 14th place. And Dredgelink from the Netherlands in 15th. So Nora Gamer in 16th position. She rode so hard and kept that bike so honest and really struggling over the line, showing all the hard work that she has put into this event. And a great finish there for Katie Rodder from Great Britain, well inside the top 20 in 17th place.
athlete across the line.
Larissa in 18th position now, coming across the line finally, and that will be Annabelle Morton. So a good run from the young British athlete to finish inside the top 20.
Our next athlete is race number 49. This is Belgium.
Lee Reckers from Belgium coming across the line in top 20, and a great run there for Ellie White, finishing in 21st place. Really was one of the pre-race favourites, but just seemed to not have the run form that she needed. And Miriam Garcia as well will be a little bit disappointed with that finish. So Jimenez just across the line in 23rd position. McDowell is there in 24th. Karlquist from Austria in 25th.
You have crossed the line. Well done. And look at this, ladies and gentlemen.
Sorry, apologies for that. Karlquist from Denmark, not Austria at all. Stabova there from the Czech Republic. Sprint finish there. Finish in, let's have a look. Who's that next over the line? Seerig as well, just over the line in 28th. Orla in 27th.
Slovakia. Well done, Romana. This is Finja Schiel, Germany, our next finisher. Well done, ladies. Congratulations.
So those are our top 30 athletes. As we know, 51 athletes started. We have a couple of athletes that pulled out on the bike and one on the run leg.
Philippa Hermann, Rebecca Beatty, Switzerland. Chenskaya from Russia. The crew from Belgium. Vaskakova across the line. And now Madalena Amaral Almeida, Portugal. Welcome. Bem-vindo. Ladies and gentlemen, a few more athletes staying on the race course. Let's bring them all home. Let's pay them the applause they deserve. Everybody had a tough day in the office today. And now our next German athlete across the line. Welcome, welcome, Sophie Giesmann. And ladies and gentlemen, Siska Toos.
So our 37th athlete over the line now. Sophie Giesmann from Germany is home and dry now, but it has not been an easy day for some of these athletes.
Welcome, Siska.
And Tus Severa, having had a great swim and bike from Turkey, crosses the line in 38th place.
And let's bring our next athlete home, ladies and gentlemen, all the way from Finland, Suomi, Helena Knapi. Welcome. Helena Knapi finishing her race.
And the Finnish athlete there finishing now, Kanapi in 40th position.
And ladies and gentlemen, please do not forget, we are going to see the medal presentation for our elite women, along with the elite men racing at the Asian Triathlon Championships at 18:15. So later this afternoon, just before the age group medal presentations. Welcome to our next athlete from Portugal, Maria Vargem. Maria Vargem, Portugal. And ladies and gentlemen, Jolien Vermeulen from Belgium, after taking the sprint European title earlier this year in Melilla, Spain, she is claiming the Olympic distance European title as well. So she can call herself double individual European champion this year. And remember, she had an excellent result at the World Championship Series race in Hamburg earlier this year, just a month out. She finished 4th there, so just finished off the podium. And in the meantime, let's put our hands together for our next finisher. Welcome, Desiree Gmür, Switzerland. Welcome, welcome, welcome. And let's bring our next athlete home as well.
So Gmür across the line now, 42 finishers, 43 on the way. So we nearly have all the field home. We know that Sophie Oldham pulled out on the bike, and we lost another athlete on the run as well. Rebecca there from the Ukraine.
And ladies and gentlemen, please don't forget, we'll have another race, another fantastic race coming up this afternoon. This is going to be the
So for anyone tuning in, that will be the end of our coverage. The Asian Championships are taking place later today, but the men's race, European Championships, will take place tomorrow at 1 o'clock local time. So that will be 12 o'clock for many European people and 11 o'clock UK time. So do join us then.
And the Europe Triathlon Championships for our elite men are starting at exactly the same times. So 1 p.m. for our elite women, but that's going to be the Asian Championship, and then 4:15 the European Championship for our elite men.
Değerli konuklar, artık yarışmanın yavaş yavaş sonlarına yaklaşıyoruz. Hakem arkadaşlarımdan bilgi alayım. Kaç kişi? Son bir kişi. Son bir kişi kaldı. 3 kişi halen yarışmadan ayrılmıştı. 52 sporcudan 3 kişi. 49 sporcu. Şu anda elinizde 43 kişi. O zaman daha fazla ayrılan var çünkü 52 kişi start aldı. Ve şu anda son sporcu finish noktasına ulaşmak üzere. Sofia Krabetskaya. Ve son beklediğimiz sporcu geldi. Doğru mu arkadaşlar? Ve böylece yarışma bitti. Şimdi saat 16.15'teki diğer starta gidiyoruz. Herkes oraya davet ediyoruz. Haydi dostlar.